Hello, this is Patrick from XPression. I'd like to show you some new features in XPression Maps 3.0 and higher, including the implementation of OpenStreetMaps as a source and the ability to use information layers from OpenStreetMaps. What you're looking at right now is XPression Maps Designer, and this is a Bing Roads map that appears here, and you can see this looks fairly similar. You'll see similar styles on your smartphone, you'll see similar styles printed in maps and atlases and things like that. These are very common colors and schemes and labeling tools that are used by just about anybody who does cartography. So this might be great, but it's not a great way to identify your program and establish branding for your video productions if this is one of the ways you're trying to establish it. So we've implemented an open source tool called OpenStreetMaps, and this is a crowdsourced tool on the internet, the web page that goes with it and everything. And you have the ability to contribute to it, and you have the ability to benefit from it. So we've taken that and we've implemented that into XPression Maps. So I'm going to come over here to my map styles pull down, and I'm going to go from Bing Roads, and I have a bunch of stuff in here because I play around with this a lot. But we provide OSM Basic and a few others, but OSM-Basic is what we're going to start with. And when I do that, you're going to notice coloring is fairly similar right now. There's a lot of stuff on the map. And what this is, these are what we call information layers. So let's see how we use these. You'll notice there's a tab here called OSM Style Editor. When I click on it, I can see that I've got some categories and some things up here. And there's a big red button that says Show Information Layers. And the Show Information Layers button is really what I like to call showing hints. What this is for is you have all this stuff on your map, and as you zoom out, you'll see other things. You'll see towns and cities and other things and road labels. If I click on that red button, all this goes away because we assume you want a blank map. If I turn Show Information Layers back on, I'm going to come up top here and I'm going to click on North Michigan Avenue. I'm going to double click on it, and two things are happening. One, you saw the road highlighted. I'm going to double click it and turn the highlight off. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But I've also got the text for North Michigan Avenue. I clicked on it, became an object. I'm going to move that down here, and let's say I want to talk about that, and I want to talk about Ohio Street. So I'm going to click on the text for East Ohio Street. And I'm going to double click on the road because I don't want the highlight yet. I'm going to take the text, I'm going to bring it over here, and now I can highlight the intersection of North Michigan Avenue, East Ohio, and turn off the information layers, and I've got the text that goes with it. That's great, because this way now I can really focus on what I want my viewers to see. What I also want you to notice, while I did that, over on the right here in the OpenStreetMaps or OSM Style Editor, there's all kinds of things that have opened up, and what these are roads. If I click on this, you see these little triangles will expand and collapse, and I can have secondary roads and tertiary roads appear. And you notice roads have appearance and color, and they also have what's called a casing or a border. So I can turn that on and off. And you see if I turn both of them off, that road disappears because that's a secondary or tertiary. And you see the colors. And again, you look at the columns up top, there's a visibility, color, highlight, edit. If I go to the secondary road and I change it from this goldish yellow to maybe a powder blue, more of a purple, but we'll just use it for now. You can see that East Ohio's gone to that purple. I'm going to change its casing to black just because I can. There we go. So now you see this kind of a black border that surrounds it. Now I can come into the properties of this also, and that's what this editing tool is, and I could change some things that are on here. So for example, I'm going to bring this down so we can see it while I work on it. First off, I can use it as an information layer only. So if I turn off Show Information Layers, it'll disappear in the final output. I can choose when they appear for zoom in and zoom out. I can choose the opacity. I can also set this to be a stipple. A stipple is a dotted line as opposed to a full line. I'm going to go select the road instead so you can see this a little better. I'm going to choose the property here. I'm going to choose to turn on stipple. And you see now it looks like it's a dotted line or a patterned path. And that's going to happen anywhere that a secondary or tertiary road appears on my map. If I don't like it, I can hit cancel and it goes away. Now, the great part about all of this, I can also work with this. I'm going to turn on my information layers, and I'm going to turn off some other things here. I've got points of interest, for example. I'm going to turn them off right now just to get them out of the way. But I'm going to go to the name for my secondary and tertiary roads. So if I click on names, that's under major here. If I open up the properties to edit this, I can choose the font that I use. So instead of Noto Sans Bold, these are some of the fonts I have on my computer. I'm going to change it to Open Sans Bold because it's going to show that it's very different. And you see the fonts all change to an italic Open Sans bold font. I can also change the font to appear from uppercase only to all lowercase only, or I can choose it to none, which sets it to how it was entered in the database, which is normally initial caps. I'm going to return this now to uppercase. I can also change the size of the text. I can change the spacing between the characters. Halo is what you and I would probably call a border. I'm going to show you really quick how that works. You can see here at East Grand, if I change that border color to black, it's kind of hard to read, so I could change it back to white. I'm just going to click cancel so that it goes back to its default colors. Something else I can do, user-defined replacement drawing. So if I select that box, I now get to go choose things out of my drawing tools. And again, if I go look at my drawing toolbox and I'm using text, I have a couple of different things here. I have one here called street sign. So I'm going to select that. And what that's going to say is anytime that I click the name of a road, major, it'll change it to that. So I'm going to go in here quickly. I'm going to take this text. I'm going to click it once to delete the object. I'm going to delete this one once to delete the object. Now I'm going to go back to East Ohio Street again. I'm going to try and get the text and just click on it. And when I do, now it becomes that green, almost like a street sign look. Same thing with North Michigan. So I can do that. And if I turn off show information layers, that's very obvious to the viewer. What I'm showing is a street sign, and it's very obvious here where that positioning is because literally it put it up right at the same place that would have appeared on the actual map itself. The nice part about all this with the information layers, the text is entered in. I don't have to guess at how to spell something, so I'm not going to click on a city name or a street name or anything else and have to guess how to spell it or where it belongs. It appears where it's supposed to be. I get to move it around if I want to, but this lets me play with it. I'm going to show you a couple more quick things in information layers. I'm going to turn on some interesting things here. I'm going to turn off or delete these particulars, and I'm just hitting the delete key to make them go away. I'm going to go back to my show information layers, and I'm turning them back on. What I want you to notice as I do this, I'm going to turn on my points of interest and everything else. You'll notice that there are what looks like the footprints of buildings here. So I'm going to take my map and tip it down a little bit. I'm going to come up into buildings. I'm going to click on visible for the 3D buildings, and look at that, all my 3D buildings appear. I'm going to turn off my points of interest because I don't really need them right now. And as I zoom back, you can see there are the 3D buildings for the city of Chicago. And it's showing me these are Streeterville is a neighborhood, Magnificent Mile. So if I click on this, for example, for Streeterville, it will increase in size if I grab the corner of it and I can scale it. And you can see that's labeled as other. That's basically a neighborhood, and that's the way that's put together. You can see down here that I've got North Wabash showing up. McCormick Fountain is a highlight up there. You can see I've also got interstate signs. So these are things that show up in information layer. I'm going to zoom way out now, and what I want you to notice as I zoom way out, you can see that Streeterville sign is still appearing. You can see the city of Chicago. I'm going to turn off all my 3D buildings, and you can see that I've still got some major roads here, but if I turn off the information layers, all that stuff goes away. If I want to do a very generic map and I don't want to see the roads, I can just leave primaries on. I can turn off secondary, tertiary, and turn off their casings. I can turn off the names for major, and I've also got minor here, so I turn off minor roads, and now I'm left with just interstates, and I can click on the signs by turning on the information layer. When I do that, the objects will appear. I click on those, turn off the show information layers. This is what I have. And again, when you turn off these show information layers, in other words, it's grayed rather than red, this shows you what's going to render on the final output as you create this map. So this kind of gives you some hints to things. It gives you the ability to get some tools, and this is all part of OpenStreetMaps. And you can find later, besides just using an OpenStreetMaps map, you can go create a map style where you can also, let me do this for you really quickly. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to create a new map style really quickly under Style, Map Styles, and you've seen me do this before. I'm going to create a new map style, so I'm going to add, I'm going to call this one Cool Map, and I'm going to leave it set at Bing Arial, but watch what happens when the tool for editing maps opens up. I'm going to tell it that I want to turn on an overlay, and I'm going to use OpenStreetMaps as an overlay. So now I have OpenStreetMap settings on top of an aerial map. So I can go ahead and put street signs in here that I want. I will say, since I'm using Bing Arial, I'm going to have a Bing logo on this, but I have all the information layers and all the abilities to find things and turn things on and off and change colors. All that's done within the OpenStreetMaps is an overlay layer. So I could do that and even create my own styles and work with them and make my own branding image for maps.